The cosmic race. Where will America be 100 years from now? Will there still be racism around? Are we all still going to be different? Thus, we have the 4 stages in the 4 racial trunks: the black, the Indian, the Mongol, and the white. Spanish colonization created mixed races. This signals his character, fixes his responsibilities, and defines its future. Roman Jr. Yes, 2 juniors. This is 100 years in the future. He walks outside. He wants to go get a tamale from the grocery store. How often does that happen, right? Walks outside, runs into a friend of his. Hey, Roger, what's up? The guy looks at him weird. This guy looks Chinese, has a white name, tight curly hair. He's Mexican though, or at least that's what he assumes. Everybody looks the same. Oh shoot, my bad. I thought you were my friend Roger. It's all good, the guy says. But he doesn't say it like that, of course. In this future, everybody speaks a big concoction of languages, combined all together. So weird I can't even say it right now. Roman walks to the store. Walks inside. Sees the menu. Egg rolls, tamales. Am I being stereotypical? Maybe a little bit. Okay, all this. Okay, yeah, I'll get that and that. So he orders those 2 things, gets on his way. Walks outside. Everybody's hanging out. Everybody's the exact same. He thinks to himself, this is nice. But it's weird. Of course it is weird. He's gotten so used to seeing people differently. His father says back then there was people who had different colored skin. Their eyes, maybe different shape. Their hair, straight. Maybe they came from different lands. What happened? America back then was overrun with Anglos, Europeans, but now everybody here looks the same. Everybody is from the same race, a cosmic race. Like aliens came down and just implemented them there. You haven't seen a white person how long. They become the minority now. Some of them even got put into this cosmic race. He gets to the nurse to call his dad. Ask him how life was back then. Hola, pa, he says, in another weird concoction of languages. I wish I could understand it, but I only speak English and Spanish. He asks him, when did it all change? The U.S. Census Bureau released a population prediction way back then that ended up coming to fruition. Around 2042, non-Hispanic white males no longer became the majority in the population. Since then, the cosmic race has come to fruition. People of different backgrounds, ethnicities, racial groups, all combined into this one big conjunction of colors, hair types, inflections, languages, race and became the majority not only in the United States, but in the Americas. In this new world, people have found different ways of hating each other. Religion is still a major factor. Now white people are being racially profiled. Weird how that turned out. Doesn't make it any less wrong. People are starting to hate people for their sexuality still. Seems some things do transcend race. Machismo is such a big factor in the Hispanic community, Asian communities. Does this cosmic race idea really solve our world's problems, or does it just take it away and leave us still trembling with other problems that face our communities, our world? Out of nowhere, he wakes up, sweating. He was thinking maybe he was stuck in this weird future world forever. Maybe one day he will be, but that'll be years from now. He might not even be alive to see it. Goes outside, tries talking that weird language he made up to somebody randomly. They don't understand it. Hell, they don't even look like him. He sighs a bit. He walks around, dark skin, curly hair. He's relieved that he has his own differences, and those differences make him who he is. Until a lady clutches her purse a little tighter when she's around him. Then he goes back and thinks, oh, yeah, right. Racism still exists. If I could live without race, I'd do it in a heartbeat. But I guess it's a curse and a blessing. Ansualda put it best when she said, cradled in one culture, sandwiched between two cultures, straddling all three cultures and their value systems. I always felt that Ansualda and Vasconcelos were two sides of the same coin, where they both falter and thrive and basically leads to the same point. Your race isn't as big as how you feel you are. I feel like when I was reading Vasconcelos' writings, the message was, you're Mexican no matter what. Even though it's rooted in this racist, white supremacist value system, I feel like just by what he was writing, he was kind of contradicting himself in many ways. Ansualda had a lot of better terms. I feel like she had better ways of saying what she wanted to say. I felt like the main difference between them both was their indigeneity. The way that Vasconcelos kind of saw people inferior or primitive, kind of combining them by stereotypes, being like, oh, this cosmic race will combine all the best parts of every single race. Not even really understanding what the best parts are, or trying to disassociate people from their race. We are all human. We don't all act the same, regardless of race, gender, sexual preference. I feel like Ansualda's being more in touch with their indigenous roots. I feel like she's more able to connect those together. At the same time, still not understanding the bigger picture is race is not a big deal. If I could just live a human being without people having to classify me by my skin color, the way I talk, my language preference, my race, I feel like we'd all be happy people. And I feel like this is where the idea for the story of the cosmic race came from. Kind of taking that, making it a little more cartoony, showing the world in a way where this becomes true. We're all a cosmic race. All races combined together as one. And while the world would be beautiful, it is very, very unrealistic. Which is why he woke up in a dream being like, oh, okay, a world like that only lives in a dream. Because we don't seem to put in all the bad things that can happen. All the things that, all the problems that makes, all the loopholes. To wrap this up in one messed up, messy bow, how big has race become, not only in America, but all over the world? I feel like every single time I try to do something, it always comes back to race. And of course, I would love to talk about anything else, but I feel like this is something I needed to talk about, let out. My whole life I've been dealing with race issues regarding my race, where I come from, my parents come from, how I look in regards to my race. I feel like I've been discriminated more by my own people than anybody else. I feel like my family has been discriminated more by our own people than anybody else. It's just crazy to me how we can just think about people differently because of where they come from and how they look. The fact that one boy I used to hang out with all the time, he was a really good friend of mine. I don't even know if he's alive. I don't even know if he got to see his mother again. I just think about, what if he stayed in this country? Would he have done any harm to it? Would it hurt anybody if he stayed here? I think about those guys who kept calling me negro. Like, to them, do they not see me the same as they saw the friends they were hanging out with? One of them I know was darker than me. It's just crazy, and that boy who I was in class with, I remember the stuff he said. That was years ago. How I didn't even know he was Hispanic. To me, he was one of my black friends. Didn't even know he spoke Spanish like that. Maybe the world would be better if we just became a cosmic race and got rid of race entirely. Racism, classism. But as wholly unrealistic as that is, we have to find a way to look past this. We're all human beings. Thank you.